Hello fam, scribes, initiates, clansmans, young stars, bro stars, sis stars, etc. 26th of Feb 2020, 2103, 903. Alright, I'm doing a little review of some recent news stories I've heard about my travels here and there. I'd like to give my input and dialogue and furthermore support what I have echo what has already been said and give you some substance and quantification of um, what I would like to bring from some news stories, reporting. Um, but before I do, I've just been halfway through going balls deep with Eddie Bravo and Santos Bonacci. Um, Going balls deep. After this, I'm going back to that and I'm falling asleep. Check out Brother Santos of the Bonacci clan. It's already at 8.7 thousand views. Universal truth being discussed. Bravo, bravo, amore, amore, Santos. Eloquently done. The names that man drops in that. One day I shall attain such finesse and dexterity of the lineages of time and the men's names there. Enough said. Wow. Just can you hear the smile? Good, because this is going to be a poo sandwich, scribe. So those of you that don't like real life subjects and are squeamish, I suggest you guys say goodbye now. Ciao, arrivederci, bon voyage. It's going to get hardcore when I say hardcore. JudgeMental. I've used that just because I'm tired. I couldn't think, but judgmental to be judged and governmental, okay, departmental, judgmental. Think of the, yeah. And then we're going to talk about Lord Steer and somebody I think called Cyril Smith. A lost decade, 2010 to 2020. I'd consider this a lost decade, to be fair, fam, where we are. It's kind of a no investment, the state of the roads, the lack of anything, stagnation of many areas. um, Playwrights. I was listening to two poets chat earlier on the wireless, and it was beautiful. Just the words and how they use them, and what the fun they have. Very honourable men. You could detect an air of compulsiveness and obsessiveness in their nature, the way they note take and go about their daily business and how they observe and lateral thinking of the mind there. But these two poets and writers and whatever, there was a collection, but two talking at the time were using words, and they mentioned playwright, and yeah, I just thought, oh, that's something. Shipwrights has now come about, WRIGHTS, and yes, WR or rights without the W, like the silent K. Arbitrarily injected dialogues and languages, and the whole world is a stage with the playwrights. And just interesting how a chat with me and Yanka came up with a certain random right angle. It does something. It's physical. It's a I won't get into that now, but this video cast is in addition to the declaration, that the care orders video, when we brought to you the fact of certain international committees and inquiries and disclosures recently. We thought we'd make it common knowledge about the findings and re-echo these findings about youth, assets, young stars, siblings, sired sons and daughters that are parent free. They have gone into the care system for one reason or another. They're under care orders. So we've decided to focus our energy and time on our young stars, the blood. That's what's important, the lineage, not the CQV, not the trust and the treasury, not flat earth, for instance, not having a go. But we want to, look at who's giving orders and why, and if things are being left to danger, deaths are occurring, liabilities are being ignored, no blames being apportioned, and numbers are getting higher. So this is why we are initially established dads and rights. I told you I'd been to a high court and hired a barrister and been laughed at in essence for 2 years trying to get access to man's property. And so initially we are promoting and teaching our findings too, and repeating and studying because of rights, inherent, inalienable, unalienable rights. So we are getting bigger and growing busier by the hour, and we're looking at how to protect from legal harm, injury, and loss. We do not so much press charges ever, and we don't suggest that anyone really does press the charges, the electrical realm, the ethereal charge, the dead. When your heart's arrested, you have a heart attack, they charge your heart. It's all very, yeah, man, interesting. These playwrights and their screenwrites and the acting. Kudos to Santos, how he explained how a computer is like simulating the essence of something divine and magical, ethereal, consciousness, divinity. I never heard that. So the charges of life and the charges, all rise, give life to the dead, the blackness of it all, the black ink, the black suits, the black slaw, you know, the black cape. We do, like to mediate and facilitate a recovery action lawfully, not legally. I seem to have given my life to law, and law seems to have given me somewhat of a life. Man did not choose law, law chose man. And with that said, it doesn't please me to say that for some reason there's a hoo-ha in the news about Epstein and Lord Steele, and he's admitted that he knew a man, a peer, Cyril Smith, was a paedophile and still nominated him for a knighthood. Not only did the so-called, I think it was a liberal leader they was on about, he didn't do anything about the alleged child abuse accusations. This was on the radio today, this week, and I want to re-echo it. As it's gone quiet now, I'll just re-echo it because this is the only free time I've got to come on and chat to you and repeat this feeling and concern and reinforcement of what we stand for, what we do when we say rights and property and certain issues within the realm itself and the systems, the ments, the governs. So this Lord has admitted he went on to give support for a knighthood for Smith, Cyril Smith, that would be, we'll call him by his correct public actor name, title, and he died in 2010. But there was a story from 2019 is what I found earlier, that was being recirculated in the news. So an ex-Liberal leader is about 80 years of age. The MP had confirmed that the claims he spanked young boys and fondled their testicles were true. I told you at the beginning, if you were squeamish or whatever, then you needed to leave. That was my disclaimer. This is stuff you can find in the, I'm sad to say, the open source, the public domain. This is sickening. Somebody knew, a lord knew that somebody else was wrong and refused to take any action. So this is an institution. There's been an investigation recently with a report on the news that's also prompted this, saying that they've investigated Westminster and the alleges of sexual claims and harassments after the outcry of Rebecca Bailey and the Labour Party and whatnot, and the scandals are afoot everywhere. It's not just one instance, it's within the monarchy, it's within Hollywood, and now it's within our communities and neighbourhoods. these MPs and lords and whatnot, that's why we don't speak like this. And I don't put an effort on to speak British for the good of all, because anybody that speaks like this and watches their tongue and tries to pretend, hello, I'm Trevor McDonald, and I mean, wow. You just know we speak real, and these established ones, this gang, is a telltale signs as to who's in it, and the body language, the tone of voice, the elocution, the way that they hold themselves. You can pick them out a mile off. So, this Cyril was an MP for Rochdale for 20 years until 1992. He never faced criminal action despite 144 complaints by alleged victims. That's what made me sit up. I went, what? It's somebody protecting him. It's just there was an inquiries and stuff and abuses and claims, and there's scandals all over the place that if you know something, and there's a picture on the line of a massive man in a suit. I'm not going to mention names, but if you are inquisitive and you put in the topics, there's loads of stuff, media, loose women have talked about and covered stuff. So that's the first section there. Steele was suspended by the Liberal Democrats over Cyril Smith's remarks. So that was last year. This isn't new news. What I'm saying is it's been into the community radio public arena again, with vigilance and safeguarding as the narrative for the the whatever the spokeslady woman that was on at the time, talking about rape and the way that women go to trial and they can't successfully get justice because the court puts the woman on the trial when the woman needs the help, and they say that certain things, and it's just a bit like the care orders, things are mismanaged, and there's inquiry into child's sexual abuses in the March 2019. It was the Scottish Liberal Democrats. An investigation was needed, and it was up north. It doesn't matter where it is. We've had this, all over the realm, and everyone seems to have lost confidence, in these establishments. So, yeah, there's things have come out that I don't need to mention. But you can find the stories Cyril Smith and David Steele, and you will find all about offences, and Smith was recommended for a knighthood in about 1988, if I remember rightly. So just you can find righteousness. But not within these establishments. I'm just seeing what else I can find that I might be able to give to you, but no, there's nothing there in my notes. So, Westminster turned a blind eye to child abuse for decades, damning inquiry finds, and there's a story by Matt Honeycomb Foster posted on the 25th of Feb 2020 that I happened to find, which is brand spanking new. It's fresh by 1 day old. Westminster's political parties turned a blind eye to child abuse and instead sought to protect MPs from prosecution, a damning public inquiry has found. The inquiry into Westminster abuse was set up in 2014. A hard-hitting report by the Independent Inquiry into Sexual Abuse said major political institutions had significantly failed in their responses to allegations of child sexual abuses for decades. When I say the lost decade, that's a conservative number. And it singled out former Liberal leader Lord Steele for an abdication of responsibility. An abdication of responsibility, did it, in failing to confront MP and prolific sex offender Cyril of the Smith estate over his abuse of children. Now we here at my gaff and all of the scribes' gaffs, we take this very seriously, and this is where we say there's a failure. There is a report after a long-running inquiry set up in 2014 under then the Home Secretary Theresa May, and amid allegations There was somebody in Parliament, somebody in Labour called Tom of the Watson clan, reported concerns high-profile abuse ring that had been allegedly run out of Westminster. The report found ample evidence that individual perpetrators of child sex abuse have been linked to Westminster. It said there was no evidence of an organised Westminster paedophile network in which persons of prominence conspired to pass children amongst themselves for the purpose of sexual abuse. So there you go. Significant failures by Westminster institutions in their responsibilities to allegations of child sexual abuse. This is by a state nation that puts in care orders. Well, it can't put in care orders if it's guilty of this. It can't run anything. It has. I've lost. I refuse to engage any further. I'm worried for those that do. It is a machine with cog-like teeth at the front, chewing up man as its source energy. Failure to recognise and turning a blind eye, actively shielding and protecting abusers and covering up allegations is not my idea of something that I would have confidence in. Jeez Louise. I got told the website was down the other day, live on a cast, and I fixed it in an instant because I'm duly bound and obligated to keep it and keep the covenants and the trust and access to 24/7 365, and that's what we aim to do. If we make a deal and an agreement, we keep honor, we keep clean hands, and we uphold it. These are in the public domain reports. History is mounting up evidences of the reasons for self-governance. When I say self-initiates, initiates of self, not initiates of Crowley, not initiates of Hall, not initiates of anybody. Lovecraft, just of self, of knowledge, of one, of the three, consciousness, the spirit, the ghost. Online child sex abuse not given police priority. Police Scotland does not give enough priority to tackling online child abuse, government inspectors say. HM Inspectorate of Constabulary in Scotland, HMICS, said the force's work was under-resourced and lacked an overreaching strategic response. So you've got reports there saying, I just found this by accident, this was in the public domain as well. I don't need to source it. I don't want to source it. I don't respect partly where it's from, but it just happened to have data on. It's got 10 recommendations for Police Scotland to sort itself out. So there's failings there, underfunding, probably deliberate. These officers aren't directly. See, officers, we would support you and help you. We will. We see what the machine and these demons, these drones, these mindless psychopaths that just clearly are, I don't know what they are when you're involved in some of the things that we're finding out here. They're not us. So I'll just end this bit by saying that we sympathise with the state troopers and officers and the victims of, because you are getting, not every single one of you, but the ones that are good and honourable and follow and the code and aren't in the secret and racist and etc. Then then we would stand by shoulder to shoulder. I will anyway, all day long. I bear no prejudices. Not even for beliefs, and you're in a system which is going to, much like what we are, use you, abuse you, chew you up. This bloke Weinstein, conviction of sex assault rape in the new era, for this Me Too, hashtag Me Too. He was convicted on the 24th of Feb, I believe, Monday. See what I mean? I'm well behind, but I'm giving you a catch-up of rape and sexual assault. He was acquitted, I heard, of most of the serious predatory charges. A verdict as a historic victory by the hashtag Me Too movement against sexual, misconduct and actions. This bloke's about 67. He was in the New York's Rikers Island jail after the jury of 7 men and 5 women found the once powerful Hollywood producer Weinstein guilty of criminal sexual acts in the 1st degree and rape in the 3rd degree. See what I mean? I don't know how you get these degrees of. Either it is or it isn't. That's how we'd put it in a sovereign self-initiate realm. Did you do wrong? And did you, not these layers of. He was found not guilty of first-degree rape and predatory sex charges that could have seen him jailed for life. He faces or heard, I think, up to 30 years in prison on the two felony convictions. But I do believe there was a lot more, claims put against him, but only two managed to stick. I think they said about 80 to 100 women have actually accused Weinstein of sexual misconduct since allegations, first began. And a global reckoning against men abusing positions of power seems to have happened since about 2017. So well done to the Omegas and the sisters that are saying F you and going for but they're going in. I know they're going in, but they're going in and they're going in. So, into this machine of doom and death and deceit and deception and non-disclosure. And wow, yeah, I scream as I speak through this, but you can search for that, and that just shows you in itself that out of how many claims, only two stuck, and how they've watered them down and what they do. It's not. This isn't cricket. It's not nice. I don't want to, go through too much now. I'm going to stop there and we'll look at your comments in a bit. What is your purpose in life? Your purpose in life, I would say, is to find your purpose and give your whole heart and soul to it. And although, you may find that weird, that's a variant. Your work is to discover your world, and then with all your heart give yourself to it. This world we're in and what we've discovered, we have to give our hearts to it, because it's long gone since we were hunter-gatherers. Yeah, and we are what we are, and somebody has to have a chat about certain things that are just concerning, deeply concerning, worrying, and all over, the shop. It's just a topic that I thought judgmental. How do a justice sits there and has to delegate all of this, and it's just not on. It's not on at all. It's not on at all. Who's in the house? Jerry, Kevin, Albert. Easy. Harlot. What are you calling a harlot, Kev? Robert. What? Eric. Vile. Yes, agreed, Kev. Hello, Lisa, and thank you for that as well. Echoing that comment. Hello, P9. Nice to see you. Nice sister. I did send you a Hangouts app message earlier. I'd like to speak to FPV, see what go on. I need to chat. Can't seem to find him on the Hangouts, but get a message. I would like him to email me, or for me to email him, and then or to message and chat. See what's going on. Please check that Eddie Bravo and Santos video. You'll think you'll be impressed, all of you. Yes, Albert, agreed even. There are lines, and lines have been crossed. Big time they have been crossed, Quinn, easy. Alan Stan, hey up, how we doing, how do? It's been busy, it has been busy. I spoke to a good deal of you on here. Autumn. Yes, I got your message, passed it on. Nice one, thank you very much, my sister. Yeah, what? Look at Kev now, you're not interacting, it's all going on, so what do I want to say? What else did I want to bring to you? else? Have you got any points you want to say? Anything you want to bring up? Other stories or poignant judgments that you've heard that just seem mental? All is well. I'm very tired. It won't be here for very long. It won't be a long one. Careful if we need to make a call. I'll wrap this up pretty soon, and we will make that call. And I think all the tasks, jobs, duties, obligations, the fist can be bumped, and we can say good night and good well, if that's all right. Yeah. Just see what comments I'm scrolling up, just making sure I haven't missed anything, concentrating. The Iron Fist. That's something that I might start watching. I've not seen any of it. I'm not promoting the brand or anything, but sometimes to escape, I might. It's got some recommendations from you for me to watch. I'm going to go through my emails next cast, probably at the weekend, and go through those and go through the links and see what I've got and bring to you. I'll put them in to the feed. We're going to have a chat. I'm going to make a forum on the .com and we'll have a chat about ideas for a get together, a planned annual meeting seminar, and then some maybe summertime music get together event, open to extensions to the fam. So we'll see how we can go with that. There's some good planning there. Some documents are on the way once the like I say, the actual leadership section settles down. We will definitely. Last year I said it would be the last year of misery, pestilence, fear, suffering, and this year we've got a great deal behind us to in our armoury, and thanks to brothers like Kevin and all of the ones we've had hangouts with, the fam, the clansmans, the scribes themselves, the scribes of the sovereign. What did I put on that note there? Scriptures of sovereign scribes, SSS. Just some notes that I made. But yes, all of these add up, and we've discovered and got a lot more in our selection box than we ever did do. So it's not so much all black. I've got nothing else that I need to share or bring to you at the minute. Just let me have a quick check. Are you off? Your interaction is on. The astral, easy now. What, my brother? Peace and love. Nice to see you. Alright then, that's good. Yeah, I've got to go through my emails, so I'll see what brother Andy's saying from the hangout, from the podcast we had the other night with Kevin and I. Andy of the Divine Clan. We will sort that out. I hadn't even looked at emails. I got back and it's been non-stop, and now it's 9:30, so that says that evening is over. That's pretty much it. Yeah, there's nothing more I want to bring to you. The news in itself is disturbing me, and these adoptions, fostering residency care orders, and I don't know if they have the actual authority to some extent. The offices, and once one steps out, another one steps in. It's a clone, doppelganger of, private in the public, these corporative, contractual, non-disclosed ways of interfacing in this commercial realm. we've got on top of that. When I say the end of, it is quite for a lot of you, if you was to want to discover a few key elements to do with, where we are and what we generally talk about across the narrative and topic of these podcasts and updates, then those of you, you've testified that it has helped you. You have testified. So I'm not saying always that it's to do with the TDA and the money in the pot of the gold. That's a secondary the creditor status as not the secured party creditor, but the recognised settlor, allodial, king position, many names, biblically coming with Jesus as Christ, recognised, in the correct manner. So that comes with your knowing yourself. And this pathway is designed to give you the access at the certain points. I don't know how it's controlled or how these bits get delivered at the right time with the synchronicity and the syncretism. That in itself is just truly incredible. We've given up on the object of material wealth and gain. It looks like with viruses and microbacterial elements and foreign war policy, we might not even have anywhere to enjoy very much longer with these sociopaths, psychopaths, elite button pressers with their arsenals and their commands and their chief of staffs and their military and their whatever. It's not very peacekeeping times. Getting out and getting rich on a yacht, for what? Time is short, and in a politically unstable nuclear world, that's what technology we have. Then we don't have a treaty that we could rely upon. We've had the big man there of the Romanus Pontifex tell and decree that he'd like to see the removal of nuclear capabilities. With a man like Trump in charge of one of the realm's biggest armies, and with all this arrogance and ego and bravado and energy and smite. I don't honestly know, because Trump is a temporary employee for a private corporation called the US government, United States government, not the government of the United States or certain others, or little letter, big letter, and that is, who he works for. He follows commands, and he's a temporary employee. He's a very dangerous, powerful man. We have a special relationship. And yes, I just want to let you know that whilst time, things may be short, we're not in a rush for material gains and wealth. You will find that along your course of your journey. We are looking to expand and promote, as always, through the course of the year, but that's just through the works, the publications, and further, podcast get-togethers that we do. The reporting of this news is tiresome, and it takes your energy, it takes strength to manage this negative realm. How we go through certain areas, and how we address this, and what we allow, who we give credence to, and why you want to question what we do and why we do it, is because time and time again in the public domain you find damning reports, and I want you to take note and go on your own journeys and recognize, you can see then it's not just about the questioning of authority, or resisting authority, or refusing to be a subject of the crown. No, it's not. It's about, if you agree to contract with the devil. And when we say the devil, there you go. This goes to prove that there are demon forces, sadistic, demonic, mono, and it's connected. I don't want to be associated. I can't do business with dirty dogs. I can't touch a dirty dog anymore. I have an agreement, and that's nothing to do with trying to save my soul. That's just my belief system. I've always had a core value. I've always had a core belief. It's got me in trouble. It's got me into fights. I speak it too much. Some Matthew in Sheffield can give you a testimony of me standing there when this giant bloke was annoyed with me because his mate tried to rob me, and he set about me. And I dealt with him. That's what I did. I'm not a violent man, but I know how to look after myself. And this lad, he thought he could have me because I was new to the area, and I was with some others, and they knew not to mess with him because he'd got, he had a reputation. And as we was having this, attack on me, I started to fight and defend. And as I kicked him, he told me I couldn't kick. That wasn't in the rules. And I went, hang on, when you jump someone on the street, mother trucker, yeah, it doesn't matter what I do now. Yeah, I'm going to kick your ass or you're going to kick mine. It's on. Yeah, you're going to work for this. And I didn't even know him. So I kicked his ass and dropped him. And then his mate found out. And so his big mate come to get me. And basically I stood there and I took it. Took it like a boxer did when you're tiring the other one out. And he told me he was going to, and there was people there, but they couldn't intervene because he was the village bully, so to speak. So, you just take it, and we've taken enough. The little ones can't take it. They should be protected. And these protectors and trustees and principals and governors and whatnot. Oh, hello. Yes, I am responsible for dereliction of duties, turning a blind eye, and sarcastic sneers. We don't say this with happiness. While the weapons of mass distraction are afoot, the media, it does report, and I think we often forget quickly the next day. It's got a system going. So I would just want to take a moment just to enforce that we are watching, we are aware, we are not happy. There are many of you in many areas that are being attacked, all right? But I can't I don't want to belittle you, but I need to look at the little ones. I've got a voice, I've got a platform, I've got a heart. Kevin has echoed this. Some of you that I've spoke to have echoed this and endorsed it. Says, yes, it is true. It is all along the same lines. And when it affects the community, the family, and it comes out, and it's not, a load of hokum for, it's not a load of wish-wash. There is articles, there are reports, there are, men resigning, stepping down, going to from 80 charges down to 2 charges. You see, when we say the legal system doesn't give you any justice, that's exactly what I mean, and I say that with no delight. 80 down to 2. So beware, and know that we are not anonymous. We are initiates of self. We are honourable, creator, fearing, tripart, sentient, private clansmen, original indigenous inhabitants that are not brainwashed, not violent, vexatious or immoral or lost or confused or ADHD that's grown up thinking that we're something special. We're sick of what's going on, and I don't envisage engaging with an entity that is affected and time after time fails, causes breaches of the trust of the private and the public sectors. Then they need to be addressed, they need to be managed. If anybody wants to question why man is going after transferring and endorsing and managing their estates themselves and severing all ties to this negative, vile, good word, I'm going to choose them carefully, but no, you wouldn't want to, because you're guilty by association. So well done for all of the work, well done for all of the effort, well done. We've gone balls deep, just like Brother Santos has over in the US of A, Eddie Bravo and the boys. You think I get excited and I get giddy? Search on Mr. Astrotheology, and have a look at his uploads. 37 minutes, 19 seconds of joy. Well done, brother. I'm going to be speaking to him soon. I hope I'm going to send him over some ganzers, and as I said, there's more on the way. So we got some truly unique scientists and minds out there at the moment, and I thank you all. Truly honoured and privileged to be a voice amongst some of the digital realm. Let's wrap it up. Kev, incoming, or you can text me. I'm on the other phone, so we have lines open. Jesus is in the house. Aye, aye. Long time no see. Anthony, easy. I see you there. Just seen you. Yeah. S. 24. Nice one. Thank you for the support and the thumbs up. That tells me that you must agree and be just as sickened. That's it. We're all caught up then, so I'm going to pop off now. That's a concise, short 40 minutes reinforcement of why we have got a lot of work to do. And I say that taking the responsibility off and authorise. If there's any reason why anybody wonders, why would you want to go from the general public into the private? What's wrong with the general public? What's wrong with the general public? Well, sit down, because you're going to need to, because otherwise you're going to fall down. Give me 10 minutes to tell you what's wrong with, It's not being arrogant, that's not being big-headed, that's just how it is. And with a slight little effort, conscious change, with a bit of information in the correct way, it will go through. Implement the instrumentation, and we will all be in the private by the end of this year. You can be in the private instantly now by dissolving the constructed, statutory, implied, impugned, etc. trusts that are around you, whether they be or not be. As we've said, you could make your own YouTube channel and you could declare on a video certain things to the universe in front of your scribes. You've got your notaries, your witnesses, you're notarized there, and things have been said and done. They call it legal, but also you act in law. So let's wrap it up. Sandra knows everything. What's going on here? Camera talk, no doubt. Yes, I'm ready to go. We'll wrap this up, Kevin. We'll make the last call of the day to brother Chris, sister Holly, and then I've seen you're on what needs wrapping up tomorrow, and I'll continue on as we are. Thank you all for your time and thumbs up and views. 24 of you. JudgeMental, governmental, departmental, anything with the ment in it. You know how it is, but to judge and these judges and what they've done and how they work, if you don't think they have a click going here, when a man from Hollywood with fame and millions and whatever and all these claims and has tens and tens of claims upon him, gets down to 2, that's it, enough said. I drop the flight case, I drop it. They're all bloody mental. Radio rentals, a nice bit of slang there from back in my day with a Nicky Lauder, mince pies. Radio rentals, that was a lovely shop, wasn't it? It was next to Our Price. Shh. Next to Rumbelows. Shh. Next to Woolworths. Shh. Next to Kodak. Shh. All gone. Stuck in past, me. Stuck in past. Easy, Ewok. You've joined at the end. Sorry about this. Blessings to all. Much love. Don't forget to check out Mr. Astro Theology if you've got time and you like to be entertained. And one day I might do a show just like that. when I finally get to, if ever I get a studio, I'll go balls deep with you, and we'll do a Bravo styling. I declare, I decree over this day, I give you this, and with that much energy, and we'll have sound effects, samples. It'll just be like, yeah, we'll just be proper crazy. Um, Rue the day we get a studio, or even a green screen and a decent camera. But going balls deep, comma, space, Eddie Bravo, music free version, and that's on Mr. Astro Theology. I'll see you soon, around the usual places. Still on with the work. There is much to be done. We all focus on a forum for the seminar and what location we should have on the .com. We will focus on anyone that's got time and information, abilities, resources to help us with communities. If you can give us information of spaces, area, common ground that can be used. I'm keeping an eyeball out for some kind of building to maybe utilise, looking at other avenues of exploratory access as things are rather slow. Maybe some kind of yeah, we'll see. We will see, but something needs to be done and fast. So, fostering adoption care orders. I'm sure we could have managed that ourselves on a citywide basis. Forgive my language for the geography, but I'm trying to keep it simple. Anybody could do a better job than what's being done at the moment. Emotionless system that has no heart, no soul, and it's numbers. If you go out there and you take a man's life, you have to answer for that. This machine and this state system, codes, ways, rules, policies take a man's life through a child, an asset, a young star's life through what would you call it now? You'd call it professional, some kind of professional neglect. Across the board, not just medical, but the care home side of it, the social worker side of it, the elder side of it. That death doesn't get investigated. It's a death, and man's gone, but it's an unrecognised death. And if there's no family and they're isolated, it's an unrecognised, unacknowledged. I know that's kind of the same, but what I mean is nobody acknowledges it. The system it doesn't for a start, and the outside world doesn't know because nobody is connected to that soul, spirit, family members. So just think about that there's thousands of unattached souls lost, weak, needy, vulnerable, and they're just gone, and nothing happens, nothing. And it's like, well, that might be you one day, that could be anybody. That's not the way forward. Pointing out stuff like, as we have done over the time, is just what we're here to do. We've got to echo this. I don't want this to get forgotten or washed under, the carpet, much like the BCCI scandal that was reiterated by me, the banking scandal and the incorporations of such claims there in the past. So we continue on. The city of London, that old city that fended off the invading armies and has still got its stronghold position. Yanka said to me, excuse me, she said, if London cities are not part of England, how can it be the capital city of England? I went, it is a capital and it is a city, but it isn't part of England. That's the difference. I said, there is London town, and in the middle of London town, there's London city. I said, so it's hard to separate because that's right in the middle. So not right in the middle, but it's in the middle of London town. I said, so just imagine that London city is foreign, and it has its own police, it has its own postcode as it happens. I said the Queen does have to ask if if she'd like to go in there, if she has permission to go in. I said, so it isn't England, and I says it has got a deal done, and it's the capital. Like the capital letters, it's the bigger one. The capital letters are bigger than the lowercase letters, and they shout, they're louder. Companies are in capital letters. Capital, is the style and the type font that used, the typology styles, and I've helped her with certain understandings of just how things are. So she's got a bit of a head start, not overloading her, but just letting her know the certain things and different why there is, because she asks questions about things, and I have to try to answer about English, like because she's learning English, the things that stand out and are weird. So blessings to all. I have little ones. But bless her. Bless the inquisitive minds of the little ones is what my point is. They think so. Just sometimes you think, bless you. All right, everybody, we're going. Kev, let's see what we're doing. Angela, hello, and also good night. Nice one, sister. None but ourselves can free our minds. None but ourselves can free our minds. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. Oh my goodness me. I'll shut up now. Sorry, scribes. And they've all gone. Down to one viewer. Yeah. Kev, we're going then. Everyone. Mew Mew Q. What? Hello. New scribe. Woolies pick and mix. Ah, chemicals. Jellies. So nice. Yes. Best place in past. Digital fist bumps to you, JJ. Thank you all. Let's go. Good night. We'll be back soon. Button Moon. Keep on peeled. All right. Much love. Good night. Hearts. We and Dave still working at this time of night. I know, that's it. Dedication. Better than a record breaker. We are going to be case law makers. Yeah, I'm very tired. I've done a stint as well as a private man in and around trade. So Monday to Friday, that's busyness as 40 hours then in between. So we do well. We try, do what we can. Chatting's easy, to be fair. It's just a little bit draining, isn't it? And we both chat well. We're both social butterflies, so lots of love. Well said. The machine never sleeps, neither can we. I'd like a 24-hour hub where we just have, I don't know, a central point which is open for emergencies, things like that coming in, respite, some kind of temporary accommodation, a foyer, somewhere to eat, sleep, relax, somewhere to chill out, exercise, like a seminar office and that, and then that's where we'd chill, like, or we'd have someone would be there. There would be a rotation of, and we'd work it that way and then reiterate it out. That'd be lovely. City of London is its own district? Question mark. Yes, research, and have a look. S. Good night. God bless. No stress. Oh yes.